Hello Internet, welcome back to our Cataclysm tutorial series. In the last couple episodes we've been just digging through the lab some, and more important than anything else that we've done, the thing that I remember is that we found a night vision CBM. So if we look for CBM, M is the letter. All we found so far, we found an alarm system CBM, an implanted night vision CBM, a joint torsion ratchet, and a weather reader CBM. As I said previously, the alarm system and weather reader are not super relevant to me. Night vision is incredibly valuable. It's basically night vision goggles, as far as I understand, night vision goggles without the head encumbrance that you would normally get from night vision goggles. And frankly, light amp goggles are, in my opinion, one of the most valuable items in the entire game. So this is an incredibly valuable CBM. Joint torsion ratchet is my preferred method of recharging. You know what? I think in the next episode, not this one, in the next episode, we will go over CBM basics, a basic, introduction to CBMs and stuff. And we'll talk about the recharging CBMs available to you and just kind of give an overview of Bionics in general. In this episode, I would really like to install some of these, specifically the night vision CBM. Even if, because we're not going to have a lot of bioelectric energy, you'll see currently we have 0. The night vision will probably give us a small reservoir, like 10 points of power. So I would really like to find some battery CBMs. The best place to find the battery CBMs are on shocker zombies. Because they have a very generous chance of dropping them. Unfortunately, we can't really target shocker zombies because we don't have anything here that would spawn them. So it will be a crapshoot of wandering around and hoping to find some, which is not great. We could just keep digging in a lab. I would really like to install this CBM right now. Okay, CBM. Actually, we never raised our computer skill. As we discussed, it's computers and first aid determine your success. We have found some computer books. Okay, why would you search for computer? Go in the reading menu. We can get computers to 1 from these 2 books. I don't see anything higher than that. But even 1 is better than 0. Yeah, it looks like we just have to 1. What are we charging this right now? We're at 50% charge. Is this on right now? It is not. We could take a little time and read to computers 1 and then go install. It wouldn't take very long. Let's eat and drink something here. Go ahead and just eat the can of beans because it's right there and easy. And then we'll look for tea. Drink some herbal tea. Great. And then MP3 player, all the time with this. Let's grab the computer book. We can just start reading and then stop, and it will put it in our inventory. So we'll pop out here. Our intelligence is low because of our pain, which is not a big deal. We eat some aspirin, and we'll turn this on because if we're going to be out here spending time, we might as well charge what we've got going on. We don't need to run the engine because it's not going to drain so much that the engines die. It's going to take 3,500 charge. Yeah, we're fine. So just pop out here and we will read. Oh, computers to 3. Oh, well, that's even better. So we'll read this for a little bit. Yeah, I would really like to get the night vision CBM installed. It's just incredibly valuable. It's always hard to determine something's value in Cataclysm because it's so subjective. It involves a lot of your preference of how you play the game and, that kind of stuff. And most things are situational. Some things are really good in certain situations and really bad in other ones. The night vision just adds so much safety to, exploring at night and things like that. So it's in my opinion, one of my favorite things to find are the light amp goggles. Let's just flip on our IR lights and continue reading. We are tired. I think we'll read till we level up to level 1 at least. Again, reading is pretty boring. Not the most exciting thing you can do in Cataclysm. We will 100% get that installed in this episode. provided that our failure chance isn't crazy high, we're at least going to go look at the auto dock and see about getting it installed. Even if we can't necessarily do it right now, we're gonna check it out and see if we can try. Man, that still hasn't been fixed, huh? I've been updating every time I play, so I'm surprised that error is still happening. It's talking about containing things. I think that may be related in some way to the nested inventory system that's coming, because it specifically says about items containing other items, but I don't know that for sure. I know Korg's been working on that. I think he said for like 8 months, which is pretty substantial time investment. There we go. Computer's level 1. Let's turn this off, and we'll eat and go to bed. Anything we can eat here? Do we still have watermelon? We do not. Okay. I don't really want to eat like a full meal. We have a banana. Eat a banana. We could eat some pickles. Why not? I like pickles. He turns himself into a pickle. It's crazy. Let's wear noise canceling headgear and actually get a full night's sleep this time instead of waking up, 4 hours from now because something shoots downstairs. So we're just going to spend a little time reading for our computer skill. Cataclysm, man, we're on episode 82. It's just crazy to me that this series is still going. It's definitely going to be the longest series on the channel. I think currently that is held by my Magicalism playthrough, which lasted like 92 episodes, I think. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was like 91 or 92 episodes. I didn't really like Magicalism. It's just not for me. The fantasy aspect. Magicalism, if you don't know, is a mod for Cataclysm. It adds lots of magic to the game. You can cast spells. There are monsters as opposed to just, zombies and stuff. It adds fantasy monsters and stuff like that. Just wasn't really for me. I like Cataclysm the way it is. I'm not a big... it's not that I hate magic, but like if I'm going to play a fantasy roguelike kind of thing, I'm going to play Angband. Angband is like my favorite fantasy roguelike. I know it's not pretty to look at. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I don't know. I've been playing these games since I was like 6. I remember discovering NetHack when I was like 6 or 7, and it was just so cool. Why is it I didn't close my doors so we woke up to the brightness? Never mind. Remember when I said we would get a full night's sleep? That was just... I'm just kidding. Just kidding. God forbid. So we're just gonna... We should probably eat something. Are we at normal weight? Yeah, I figured we were dropping. We haven't been eating that many calories. Would really like to find some meat. We are surrounded by forest. What was this? Oh, that's where the landmines and stuff were. We don't want to go over there. I think we're just gonna go out in the forest and see if we can murder an animal. This is not a reliable thing to do. I don't know if we ever talked about like hunting. It's such a crapshoot in the forest because you don't have good lines of sight. Is it summertime yet? Nope, still spring. In the summertime, there will be a lot of wild forageables, berries in particular, and fruit trees are very common. Right now, I'm just moving through the forest, hoping that something pops up on our compass there. The problem here is that you can't target things. Like, you're not going to be able to see. My preferred method of hunting is to walk in areas like this where it's wide open and you can see really far, and you just hope you come across a pack of dogs or like wolves or whatever near the forest and stuff like that. Wandering aimlessly into the forest is not a great way of finding game, but it was the closest thing to us. We found nothing. Okay, take me back. Take me back. We'll use auto move to get out of here. My God. Okay. Well, that was choppy AF. Let's, we also want to gather a tank for our vehicle at some point for the autoclave. I don't really feel like doing that now. Why don't you just walk down here? We'll see if we can get eyes on an animal or two out in this, middle of nowhere here. This field area. Deer sunfish. I remember you. You were stuck in a little pond here. Seeing crow. Crow aren't really something that's worth hunting. Give me my spear. This fish is trapped, so it can't do anything, so we'll just bash him until we get him. We'll do full butchery. Small animals you can full butcher. All we got was a fillet of fish. Not very much at all, really, unfortunately. So we'll just wander around. Maybe we'll find some dogs or something. Tough zombie. Okay, well, first of all, give me my gun back. Should have our gun out. It's fighting a Kraken. Oh, we see a deer. Okay, this is excellent. Where is the deer? I don't really care about the zombie. South. Unfortunately, it might spook because of the zombies. Let's check on him again. 40 to the southeast. I think it's spooked. 44 to the south. Yeah, it's running from us, unfortunately. I don't know that we can actually catch up to it. And it's hard because we can't actually see where it is on the map. It's outrunning us even when we're sprinting. That's not ideal. This is why I said previously that it was better to have enemies that will attack you, is because they will close ground with you. You don't have to worry about chasing them. We're not finding anything. There's an issue, in my opinion, with Cataclysm. There is not enough wildlife. We see a groundhog. I mean, that's just going to flee as well. And we're not going to be able to catch up to it. 25 to the west. I mean, we can sprint in that direction and hope for the best. And with the trees, yeah, I was going to say we're just going to lose sight with him. Yeah, I just feel like there's not enough wildlife. It takes place in New England, which is like, you know, not... I imagine it's like anywhere else. It's not like... The next time we see this, we're just going to shoot it. Where is it? 42. We can't shoot that far. Squirrels are not good enough for meat. Groundhog 53. Can't shoot him. Like, I live in the country, in a pretty rural area. A lot of Cataclysm takes place. This is ridiculous. Send me back to the lab. This is a waste of my time. Yes, that's fine. And it will stop us if we see... Yes, thank you. We see a wolf. Wolf is perfect. Hostile, 32 to the west. Come on, Wolfie. You know you want to bite me. I live in the country. A lot of We're bleeding. You stupid animal. We do have a bandage, of course. This is why we keep bandages. You use your bandage, you fail to stop the bleeding. I want to see... Just take a look real quick. It is a 90% chance to cure bleeding, and it did not. So we're going to bleed on our arm, unfortunately, which is a problem. Not only because we're bleeding and it will drain our health. They usually spawn in groups, so I was thinking maybe we could find another one. I don't have anything to rip up for bandages. Not sure why I only had one in my inventory. I usually carry 3. Must not have been paying attention to that. So we're just going to bleed for a while. Just going to stand here and bleed. Because, okay. I was going to say because it's going to interrupt our butchering. Quick butcher. We can't full butcher this guy, I don't think. Oh, we can full butcher. It's weird. It's a wolf. It's not small enough that we should be able to full butcher. Full butcher is like... requires a rack and stuff if it's a large animal, and I imagine a wolf is just a little bit too big to be full butchering without those tools. But whatever, I'm not going to complain about it. We're going to take all the meat, really. I'm going to leave most of the other stuff behind. We did stop bleeding. It did not interrupt our butchering, which is good. Yes. I live in a country, and basically every night I drive for work at night. And I would say I pass on a regular... So we were gone so far away that we actually forgot the tiles in this area. This is actually real obnoxious because we were only gone probably about an hour. And we've already forgotten all the tiles. And now we're not going to remember things when we go into the base. And I know, internet, I've been getting a lot of comments lately where people are like, dude, do you ever stop complaining? No, you know, like I recognize I'm someone who complains too much, but also it's perfectly legitimate to complain about things sometimes. So for instance, if my character is too dumb to remember a room he was in an hour ago, it's okay to complain about that. You know, I understand you don't want to hear it necessarily, but it is obnoxious and it is very annoying to forget tiles that you remember you were literally in that room, like just very within the last day, and you can't remember what was in there. Anyway, we've gotten this meat, which is an enormous amount of calories, so we're going to eat our fill over the course of the next day, and most likely this is going to boost us back into the overweight category. We're just trying to build back up our calorie stores, and since we're going to be passing a lot of time reading, we're going to consume a lot of this before it goes bad. The scraps might go bad. We're going to focus on eating the cooked meat first, because it will be just substantially more calories per weight, I believe, of the item, or the volume of the item. So it's more efficient to eat the cooked meat. If these stay good and we run out of meat, we'll cook the scrap of meat and the fillet of fish as well. The fillet of fish is not very calorie dense. If we look at the fillet, if we just go into the eat menu, it's $1.95. Even cooked, it will not be comparable to the meat. The meat will always have more calories to it. So let's read. Yeah, every night I go to work, I see just dozens and dozens of deer kind of lingering around, oftentimes in the road, oftentimes at the edge of the forest. And if you've ever lived in the country, you see raccoons. I see raccoons and possums on basically a daily basis. I don't know if possums are in New England area or not. But, like, there's just a stark lack of wildlife. I think probably the lore is, like, the zombies are eating the wildlife, but I really don't know that for sure. Eat the cooked meat. And we'll have some stuff to drink here. We'll just drink some water. But it's always kind of bothered me that there's not more wildlife. Nope, stop. Activate MP3 player so we can curb that focus loss a little bit. And yeah, it's just always rubbed me a little bit the wrong way that there's not more. Like I said in a previous episode, the majority of we're getting 1% every tick. So really unfortunate. And we're tired again because remember, we didn't get a full night's sleep because everything was... I would like to stay awake because I want to consume all this meat before it goes bad. You'll see the fish has already rotted. But I also want to sleep because we can't really stay awake and keep reading when we're getting such small returns. So I think we want to cook the scraps here and try to eat as many of those before we go to sleep just to get those calories in us. So I'm eating raw fat. That is not, that's not good. Shouldn't have done that. I don't know why it pulled me off the scraps of meat there. Because you can see I was eating scraps of meat and then pressing enter and it grabbed the chunk of fat. I'm not sure why it shifted our cursor. It doesn't really matter. Put the noise canceling headgear back on. Go to sleep. Like I said in a previous episode, most of the meat that I find in the game comes from wild dogs, which makes sense to an extent. You would think like, oh, well, you know, all those domesticated animals are now turned loose. And I actually really like the kind of roleplay aspect of that. But I also think, like, there should be more wildlife hanging around. There should be more birds. There should be more deer and things. It's not like something that ruins the game or anything. It's just one of those things that, as someone who lives in the country, it just surprises me when I don't see more animals in the game. So this has been a slow process. I shouldn't have deviated to go hunting. It was a major waste of time, but it did give us a lot of calories in our belly that will contribute to our calorie storage, which is valuable in itself. And we'll go back to reading, and then by the end of the episode, we're going to go try to install that night vision CBM. I really like the light amp goggles. Like I talked about, it's come up multiple times. When we can't see the turrets that are slightly outside of our vision range, the night vision goggles or CBM will take care of that. It will mean that we can see further than the turrets in all situations, so we can deal with them much more effectively. It will allow us to, when we were doing testing and we saw that Hulk, and that Hulk came right up on us, a lot of times if you have the night vision CBM, you can switch on burst fire on your rifle or auto or whatever, you can take down a Hulk with a gun before it even gets close enough to punch you. So these are pretty valuable, but it's very dependent on the amount of how far you can see with your characters. So night vision obviously is beneficial in that regard. Let's turn on MP3 player. Let's eat. Are these still good? Nope, they've rotted. The fat will remain viable for another week or so. We try to avoid eating fat. We do make cracklins occasionally because they have such calories to them that it's generally pretty good to do that. They do hurt your health, so I try not to eat a lot of them. But they are something if you're just looking to dump calories into your body. You'll see we're back to overweight. Part of that is that we ate a chunk of fat, which has 2,000, basically an entire day's worth of calories in it. Let's just go back to reading, see if we can polish off level 2, and then we'll go see about installing some CBMs. I imagine we can at least install the alarm and whatnot. We don't have the autoclave set up, so we can't actually clean up the joint torsion ratchet at the moment. We really should invest some time to doing that because we're going to need a means by which to recharge, and the joint torsion ratchet is a very high-tier option for that, in my opinion. Take off the headgear. It's making the MP3 not have an impact on us, which is real dumb. I keep doing that. And that's why we lose focus so fast, is because we often forget and we're not getting the benefit from the music. So we'll get to level 2 here and we'll call that good enough. I don't really want to spend the entire episode reading. The hunt frustrated me a little bit. So let's just do this. So let's drop the computer science, turn off the MP3 player, drop the MP3 player, drop the headgear. We'll drop the fat outside, as well as the cracklins. I really don't want to eat the cracklins anymore. I think we got a fair bit of calories from this hunt, so I don't think that we necessarily need to do that. We can switch back to eating the lower calorie MREs and things. I don't think we need to eat right this second unless we have something just snacking. We can snack on here, put a few calories in our belly. No, there have been vending machines that we haven't really pulled food from. There's definitely stuff we could have pulled and didn't. So it's not like we're going to run out of food or anything. Worst case scenario, we would just drive all the way back to base and eat what we have at base and take a trip out there for the day. Let's instead just drink a bunch. Give me some tea because we ate cracklins. We would like to boost our health stat. Back to water. We'll just drink some water. It will fill our belly and hydrate us. And we will grab the CBMs. We'll grab the 3 that are clean. Again, we need to do some work in order to get this into a position where we can actually use it. And we're going to look for the anesthetic kit. And we're going to head down. Unfortunately, again, because we've forgotten tiles, despite having been here yesterday, we will no longer remember where the auto dock was. You can see how all of a sudden this becomes pretty frustrating when our battery is dead. When you learn the layout of the lab and then you have to leave for some reason, it really is quite annoying to have to come back and re-explore everything if you don't remember precisely where things were. I do believe it was on the 2nd floor to like the southeast area, but without knowing for sure, you obviously reload the flashlight, please. Can't reload the SIG. Yeah, I don't need to reload the SIG, it's fine. But you can understand, we were on floor 3, I believe, exploring in the last couple episodes, and now we don't really remember where we were, where we've already explored, where we left off, where the turrets were, where was safe, where was not safe. And so it becomes concerning. So again, I believe southeast, I imagine we killed most of the turrets. We should really be careful though. And this slows you down because it's like, oh, well, now I have to re-explore this area in order to guarantee my safety. I have to re-explore where I've already been. This is safe. I remember we were in here trying to shoot that turret. Oh, man. And this was the autodock room. And then down here was the better autodock layout. Again, someone told me that the bionic, the cyborgs and stuff can... Oh, we never cracked this open. What CBM is this? Chronometer? We don't have that one. We could take that one as well. Get the SIG out. 16 rounds. No. Reload to the other one. 26 rounds. Yeah. Again, someone told me that these can occasionally give valuable CBMs. So we are going to... Jeez. What's a safe way to do this? We're going to pop this and open all the doors. That gives us access to the autodock as well as the chance to kill these cyborgs. They're not going to kill us. They are going to get a few hits in, which I'm not thrilled about. Just open it. Open. It's fine. See if any of them... There you go. What? Why can't I shoot? I'm not wielding the SIG. Let's just skate out of here. Grab the SIG. Can't believe I wasn't wielding the SIG. Kill the cyborgs. And our skills are good enough now that basically if they're next to us, we're guaranteed to hit them. Not guaranteed to critical, but still guaranteed to hit. So there we've killed all those guys pretty easily. I don't think we can... I don't want to butcher them right now. Oh, yes I do. Remember when I said that taking a surgery will take a long period of time? These guys have this little red skull indicator, which normally means that they're resurrectable. So I'm guessing at least one of these guys is a zombified cyborg. And so if we leave them alone, there's a chance that they will resurrect and come murder us while we're sleeping under the effects of anesthesia. So we might as well. I would like to separate the corpses, honestly, to see what needs pulped. I think yellow means it needs to be pulped, and gray means it doesn't. And this is going to take a long time, so I'm hoping no one resurrects right next to me in the middle of butchering. Faulty Bionics. Come on now. Yep, bad Bionics. Dissect. This should remove that indicator. And prototype cyborg. We'll dissect you as well, just for CBM chance. Let's take a look at what we got. Torso alloy plating CBM. The alloy plating CBMs are some of the best CBMs in the game. They basically give you, I think it's, I want to say 3 protection, 3 cut and 3 bash protection. So if we look at, say, our, what's going to have 3? None of this stuff. Maybe the leather kilt. No, that's 6, of course. So 3 is not like a crazy amount of protection, but it's free. It doesn't cost you encumbrance. It doesn't have prevent you from wearing other gear or anything like that. So it's basically free protection on that specific body part. This one is the alloy torso plating. So 3 cut and 3 bash protection on our torso, which is, again, one of our 2 most important body parts. So pretty great CBM, actually, to find. Visual Disruptor is a bad bionic that you do not want in your body. It will, I assume, give you hallucinations. Defective ocular bionics that cause visual distortion and pixelation. Might just reduce your perception or something when it triggers, or it could give you full-blown hallucinations. I really don't know. And then we got 6 faulty burnout bionics. They're useless. If you have certain mods, you can use them to craft CBMs, but in the vanilla game, there's nothing to be done with them. Can we deconstruct this? Doesn't look like it. Repair with. So can I deconstruct any of these? Don't have the tools. We would need a soldering iron even if we could. Anyway, it's clear now. Let's turn off our flashlight and see about installing some bionics. Operator is missing. Yes. Compact bionic install. And you'll see we have the opportunity. Oh my god, 72%. We're at first aid 6. And computers 2. And we have a 72% chance to fail. Oh, that sucks. We're going to need to raise our computers significantly if we want to bring this percentage down. So definitely I'm not going to risk installing that now. As we discussed previously, failing to install. So if we hit that 72%, we have a chance of hurting ourselves. We have a chance of installing a faulty bionic, like that visual impairment thing that we saw before. And it's just not worth it. And then we lose the night vision CBM, which is a very valuable CBM. So we're going to hold off on that one. You'll see it's considerably, you can kind of tell as well, because of the duration of the surgery and the anesthetic required, that this is a decent, powerful CBM. Most of the ones that are kind of innocuous and meaningless, like an internal clock, it's trivial to install. It doesn't take very long. It's not a big deal. Something like this that requires such a long, huge surgery kind of hints at its value. So I'm going to install the 3 other ones. Very disappointed that this failure chance is so high, but we can work on that in the future. So for now, install the alarm system. 7% chance, yeah, I'm okay with that. Even if we fail, I don't really care about losing the alarm system. Install the alarm system. Install the chronometer. Again, failing is not a big deal. And this one is a little bit more concerning, but I never really use the weather reader, so it's not a big deal. So we installed those 3 CBMs, but you'll see none of them gave us power. That is because these are all passive CBMs. So if I open my Bionics menu, which is the P key, oh, they are not all passive CBMs. Apparently they do require power to turn on. Usually a CBM that draws power will give you a small amount of power, but ours is 0 of 0. It's actually a complaint I have about the game. I know what I complain. I get it. Is that I believe every CBM that draws power should give you a very small amount of power, like 5 to 10 power, which is how I thought it was for the majority of them, but it looks like these 2 don't give you any reservoir at all. So the internal chronometer will work no matter what. So like it's passive, we can drop our wristwatch here. Even though we don't have bionic power, we can still see what time it is because now we have an internal chronometer. The other 2, alarm system and weather reader, require power to activate. So if I hit enter, it actually can't activate because we don't have the power. Alarm system is just when we sleep, we have the option to set an alarm. It will ring in our brains, so I believe it circumvents our noise-canceling headgear and we'll still wake up. And then weather reader, I don't really know what this does. Passively tells you local air temperature. Oh, it's not a good CBM. Not something I'm very interested in. So not great. We really wanted to install our night vision thing. That did not really work out for us. And yeah, so a little disappointing, but at the same time, it is something for us to work towards. I know we have better computer books back at base. I didn't bring them with us, and I'm not really interested in spending the next 2 days reading computer books, so I don't know. But we'll get it sorted. We'll figure it out eventually. For now, let's call the episode. Feeling hot, feeling a little irritable. Mostly because I can't get over how many people tell me I complain, and I do complain, but it's still frustrating to be told that on a regular basis. Anyway, that's going to do it. So for now, thank you for watching. I'll be back with more tutorial content in the near future, and I'll see you next time.